unfortunately, from a child, there was two major traumas in my life from the moment I was born till I was 11. You know, the first trauma was at 5 when Barry got diagnosed, I got diagnosed. That wasn't really the trauma because I didn't understand, I didn't know, but he then became disabled. So the brother that I had is no longer the brother that I have. And the trauma of me having the illness of, you know, I was put on an extremely strict diet of, I wasn't allowed any fatty foods at all. You know, my mum used to have to peel apples, peel grapes because the skin was too fatty for me to eat, but I could eat the flesh of the grape and things like that. So as a 5-year-old, I went from one day being able to eat anything, like having a bag of chips or this, that and the other, and a packet of crisps, to literally the next day, when I got diagnosed, I wasn't allowed anything. And a 5-year-old can't comprehend that, doesn't understand why, and things like that. And I'm sure my parents had a really hard time with it, do you know what I mean, trying to explain things to me, and things like that. I was on the diet until I was till I was 18, because obviously that's when my mum and dad had control over what I ate and and me. But unfortunately, as soon as I hit 18, I just had a massive attitude problem towards my illness. You know, this illness that had, you know, taken over my brother's body and everything, and then taken his life. The illness that had controlled what I was allowed to eat and what I wasn't allowed to eat, and, you know, the illness that just turned our lives upside down and made our lives a bit of a spectacle because it was such a rare illness. You know, we had camera crews all the time, we were on documentaries, we were on the news, we were in newspapers and this, that and the other, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it felt like everybody had a piece of our life, you know, especially in Stamford-le-Hope, where we grew up in a smallish town, and everybody kind of knows. You know, it's very much like not 6 degrees of separation, it's like 1 degree of separation. Do you know what I mean? Everybody knows everyone. And I think just everything about that, when I was 18, I just had an attitude problem. I said, I don't care anymore, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I took myself off my medication, I took myself off Lorenzo's oil, I took myself off my diet, I stopped going to hospital appointments, and I just blocked my illness completely. Because I didn't want it to rule my life anymore. In hindsight now, and now that I'm doing all the work that I'm doing on myself, like in hindsight, it ruled me with an iron fist. I just didn't realise it ruled every part of me. But it ruled me in the wrong way, because I didn't know any facts about my illness, and pretty much to date now, I know not really anything about my illness that much. We had, there must have been carers come in, and I used to call them Lil the Pill and Joan the Bone, I don't know why. And they used to come in sometimes, they used to be there at home, because for when I got home from school, when Barry got home from school, to look after us. And I don't know whether it's because my mum had a job, or something like that, but they used to be there, and it would only be for a couple of hours. If that support's out there as well, I'd say to use that, because I loved the time with them. I absolutely loved it, because I don't believe they were medically trained, I don't believe they were anything like that. So it was to just have somebody at home for me, for when I got in and things like that.